Hey everyone, welcome back to the 3L podcast with Eman and Mimi.
Talking life, love, and legacy.
Come on, how are you, my dear?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Another week.
I
How
know.
you feeling?
Good, good. I always feel butterflies in my tummy every time we come do this.
No, you're good, man. You're good. You're good. You're in safe hands. Guys, in the comments, put safe hands. Let Mimi read the comments and know she's in safe hands. This is a safe space. All right. So you're good. You're good. You're good. All right. So today we're talking about kids not being at the center of our marriage and not allowing kids, because it can be easily done, right? Easily, you have these kids, they're your world, they're so important that you may put them ahead of your marriage, and because of that, your marriage may suffer, your relationship with your partner may suffer. Talk to me about, do you think that's happened to us at any point?
I think so.
Okay.
Not necessarily the center, but they took a lot of focus, especially when they were much younger. When you first have a baby, for instance, the baby is on your wife pretty much 24/7, and you are just probably maybe there to, let me carry the baby, do you know what I mean, type thing. So I think for a while it might feel like it's not done intentionally, but I think for a time, especially when we had 3 under 5, it literally felt like these kids were kids. Well, I think you probably felt like I was just more on the kids than on you, where it wasn't that, it was just like, oh my gosh, there's 3 human beings in front of me and they need attention. So yeah, I think it's probably happened in our marriage at some point in time.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with the kids side of things, especially when they were young. I think you definitely feel as a man, especially if you're the main breadwinner, you're going out, you're making money, you're paying the bills, you're coming home, you're spending time with the kids, you're trying to give you a little break as much as possible. You're trying to do your part. You're trying to be an active father, but then feel like no one's got time for you.
Yeah.
Even to the point where even in your bed,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean?
Like, the kids were in your co-sleeping as well.
So they're sleeping in the bed. So sometimes you're just sleeping alone, or you're sleeping on the couch, or there's not even space for you. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, you're just an afterthought. It's just the mum and the kids are the main thing. And as a man, you just gotta work your way around everyone else. Like, everyone else's needs are the most important, and yours are kind of it feels like at least important. It
feels that way, yeah.
And so I think it can bring you to feel like, you're not valued as a man, you're not important, no one's considering you. Do you know what I mean? Everyone's considering mum, calls are coming for mum, people are bringing food for mum, people are buying stuff for the kids, there's all that, nobody's thinking about that.
Yeah.
That is like an afterthought, that is a hindrance, that needs to get into work and make money and be out of the way. Like, so I definitely feel like it can feel like that. Now, do you think it's right? Do you think it's wrong? Do you feel like actually it's just something that might happen and it's just a season? Like, what's your thoughts around that?
I think it is a season, definitely, because kids are gonna grow older. But at the same time, I feel like it is a season, but how you behave in that season is gonna set the precedent to what happens when you're not in that season anymore. Because if in that season you're just on your wife, she's gonna then focus more on the kids because she feels that there's conflict with her partner or husband, and then when the season is over, you're just like, oh, because I focus so much on the kids, there's no relationship with the husband. But if you're quite understanding and knowing that it's a season, and still both of you are still making an effort to connect as a couple, when the kids are older, then it just feels like, oh, now we have more free time, let's just continue what we've been doing already.
Yeah, I'm totally with that. I think, yes, it's a season. I think as man, then we have to understand it's a season. I think also we have to understand that, your wife has literally sacrificed her body for 9 months. And then in my case, it was another 9 months. It was another 9 months. So we're talking almost 3 years of just literally, because if you add in breastfeeding for 6 months, 12 months, depending on how long people want to do it for, you're literally giving birth and then breastfeeding and then having another baby, then breastfeeding again, then having another baby. We did that for good,
at least the first 4-5 years of our marriage.
So you sacrifice all that. So it's only right that attention should focus on you and the children and the kids. And the children are most needed, they're most vulnerable. They can't walk for themselves, they can't talk, they need someone to do something for them at all times. So that has to come priority. As a man, you can clean, you can cook, you can look after yourself. So because of that, it's only right that when children are at quite a young
That young
age,
age, yeah.
that the attention on you is going to reduce. Now, if you're a man that's used to a lot of attention from your wife before you had kids, then it's going to be a bit of a shock. But you should see the bigger picture and see, actually, this is for our children, to help them. It's not going to be forever. But I think one of the big things for me was, you know, you were obviously so overwhelmed with the kids that, in regards to like your look, your everything went out the window.
Yeah.
My wife that normally come home, hair's done. We got prison K rolls in the head. Like, she's like, there's no wig. There's just, sometimes there's the hairnet on there. Like, we've got gown, like dressing gown, the gown that, what do you call it? Like the robes.
Yeah, the robes. Yeah.
You've got the robe that you left, that I left you in the morning. You're still wearing it in the evening, but it's just got vomit on it now, or it's got mess on it, or whatever. You're just, obviously you're focused on the kids, so you're not.
Yeah, you're just kind of surviving to get through the day.
So you're not having time to really take care of yourself.
Yeah.
So it's like, and obviously your body is going through what's going, so you want to be comfortable. So you're wearing very loose things, very free-fitting things, which all makes sense for you. You got to do what's right for you and for the kids and make yourself comfortable. But for me as a man, it's like, not only has my wife had children now, she's also lost herself. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, but actually, you've got to see the beauty in the sacrifice.
Yeah.
Like, there's a beauty in the sacrifice that your wife is going through for you to be able to have this family that you're trying to grow. And so actually, that she may sacrifice these other things, but she's still doing this at this core for us as a family. It's a sacrifice she's making for us. So your job is to be a supportive. My job is to come home, say, look, let me take the kids, go shower, go look, you know what I mean? Go do this. My thing's, actually, now that you can pump, have a weekend away. Go away for the weekend. Let me manage the kids, or I'll get my mum or my sisters to come over, and we'll find a way. Do you know what I mean? And like give you a break and give you some time. I think it's important for you to have time to be Mimi, be Miriam, be a woman
and I
again.
think a lot of men don't realize that, in as much as you feel like you've lost your wife has lost herself as well. So she's trying to figure out who this new person is in motherhood, because she's looking at the mirror and she's like, I don't recognize that person. I'm not the person who used to take care of her. Like, when you met me, always put together. Do you know what I mean? And now you have kids and your whole life is your kids. So you're looking in the mirror and your brain is telling you you're not making an effort. How is your husband looking at you? Because you're not making an effort for him, when you used to, you want to look nice. You want your husband to come home and be like, oh my gosh, you look amazing type thing. So we don't really talk about what we mentally are going through. We're just kind of going through the process because this little person needs your attention. And I think it's so important for, as a husband, to, yes, you're going through things, but also affirm your wife, because she's feeling it as well. Even though she's not vocalizing it, she's feeling it as well.
So like, for the woman at home now that maybe is like recently had a child and going through what you're saying, what are some words that men can say, like your husband can say to you? What's some words that, so she can just send this to her husband to watch this and say,
I think,
what can he actually be doing and saying to reaffirm, to encourage, to be a support as she's going through this transition of motherhood?
I think, obviously, how do I put this without sounding, don't focus, if they've gained weight, don't focus on the weight gain. Just be positive about the new body, because let me tell you something, she's looking at herself and cussing herself in the mirror because her body is not the same. So be positive about her body, because at the end of the day, you can always go and work on it. But for that time being, just be like, yeah, you look great, babe. You look fantastic. You're doing a good job. I know it's for the baby. When the time comes, if you want to make a change, I will support you in that. That is really, really, and don't get me, I'm lucky. My husband loves the weight, but not every man is comfortable when their wife, I'm going to leave it there because I know what you can say, but not everyone is comfortable when their wife gains weight through childbirth. So be positive about their weight. Yes, like for me, the clothes I wore, But I was like, okay, like majority Eman's clothes I wore during that period, and they were very, very baggy and comfortable. But I realized that it wasn't helping my self-esteem when I saw a shapeless figure in the mirror. So now I try and, yeah, I'll still wear the tracksuit, but they fit, as opposed to being baggy. And that really gave a help. You know, just doing your hair a little, just something, one thing out of the day can really, really change your whole mindset. And don't get me wrong, there are women who are baddie through everything, and good luck to you and congratulations for you to be able. But for those who just are just in it, just one thing a day can really just change your mindset and uplift your mood.
Yeah, I love that. I think it's really important. I think yeah, I was lucky. You looked wonderful pregnant. I was the one that said, you have lost all the weight.
Yeah.
You've lost all the weight. Your bounce back was it. But then there are other things, right? Through having children, and I think we can talk about that in another episode. But even just like in regards to what your body then goes through afterwards and so forth, I think that's a whole nother episode. But that could affect your mental health and how you think about yourself and so forth. And husbands need to be reassuring and comforting through that time. So talk about it. What was it like as you were going through it? Because obviously, like for example, how often we used to, knack, and then now you're not even thinking about that. Are you even like, or are you conscious? Are you conscious that I haven't?
You're conscious. You're very much conscious, because I don't think, maybe actually let me speak from my experience. There was no way I wasn't conscious of what was going on, because it's affecting my husband, right? But your brain is like, there's a baby there. Do you know what I mean? There's someone that constantly needs your attention. So you might want to focus on your husband, but at any minute the baby can start crying. So I know we joked about it in previous episodes about scheduling things, but in that time it was like, oh, I know the baby goes for a nap. And I was very strict. I was very good on routines. So I knew that the baby was going to sleep at a specific time. So I'm like, oh babe, can we do something really quickly while the baby's napping? And yes, we joke about scheduling it, but at those early times, it was good to schedule things, because at least even if he said no, because obviously it's not spontaneous, at least you let him know that you're thinking about him in that time. The intention was there, even if it never happened. The intention was there.
Yeah, of course. And I think even as a husband, as a father, I think I had to really calm myself down and say, look, listen, you might really want to do XYZ because you think your wife is beautiful and you're so attracted to her and you wanna be intimate with her, but I think that's not what she needs right now.
Yeah.
She needs like a foot massage. She needs what's that thing with the bubbles? The little foot spa.
The spa,
And I'll go and do this foot spa, put little things, and unfortunately, being me, I'll put too much, and the bubbles will be flowing out of the thing. Something that's meant to be a little drop. Me, I say, come on, you're gonna.
And now you're packing bubbles.
Now bubbles are all over the floor. Me, I'm just mopping,
Oh my gosh,
mopping around while you're. But we try. At least we try. It's the thought that count. We're trying. Making you teas. I've never really done that. Make you tea, but I learned how you like your tea. I'll try and make you a cup of tea the way you like it. We bought different flavors of tea because obviously your taste buds are changing on a day to day. Some days you want stuff, some days you don't want other stuff. So I think it's just about being a support and just knowing that you're there for that person. And I think it's a period of time. I think these things have to be understood, that this is just a season, it's just a moment in time. And what is the sacrifice? The beauty of the sacrifice is that we now have this family. We now have this child, that our family is growing. And so, okay, you're not getting what you would previously want and get as much as you wanted, but you look at what you are getting and appreciate what you are getting. I think, how do you feel? Because I feel like we'll go into the dilemma in a moment, but I feel like when women tend to have kids, then you find that a lot of men now start staying later at work. Because obviously the chaos in their house, the drama, that maybe men feel like they're being ignored anyway. So what's the point of rushing home just to be blanked or just to be sitting on your own? All of a sudden they might go to bars later, they might go to strip clubs. We've heard stories, go to strip clubs now, or start like spending time outside. All of a sudden they start speaking to female co-workers more often because they're getting attention from them that they weren't that they're not getting at home. Like, how do we deal with this? How do we avoid all of this because men maybe feel, what would you say to men? But also, what would you say, like, what can a woman do to help to avoid your man now looking for attention outside?
I think, what would I say to men? I think in doing that, you're creating a bigger divide that was that is not necessarily going to be there, because when you chose to have children, you both agreed to have children, especially within a marriage setting. You both agreed to have children. Yes, the reality is different because no one's really experienced what a pregnancy like, or what a pregnancy is going to be like on the woman, but you both chose to have children. So if now you're upset because she might have a rough pregnancy, so she's sick all the time, I feel that you need to be there for your wife. You need to show that you're supporting her in this situation, because her body is going through a madness. And if you then choose, because I'm not getting all this attention, you're going somewhere else, it's just going to cause a bigger divide. And sometimes that divide becomes so wide, you can't close it.
Yeah, and that's probably why women then say, he's not coming home, he's leaving me, let me just focus on my kids. I just focus on my kids. And then what happens is that becomes the narrative. I focus on my kids. And then you focus on your kids for so long that when the kids are up, grown and gone, now you're two strangers.
It's just two strangers. And I think I saw somewhere that a lot of strain happens in pregnancy. And because of obviously everything that we've discussed, and I just feel like it's one of the hardest times to stray, because your wife physically can't do anything about what is happening to her body, bar having the child in 9 months' time. So for you to make, in some situations, a selfish decision because your wife can't give you what you need because of the decision that you both made, I think that is just not right. And for women, all you can do is try, right? Because like I said, you can't change what your body's going through. You just have to be, I guess, and you might be more intentional and nothing happens, but all you can do is put your best foot forward and hope that your husband knows that you're thinking about him and you appreciate everything that he's doing for you within that, and it helps, basically.
Yeah, and the reason it was important because I feel a lot of the time when I speak to people that maybe have got divorced, or it was during the time the kids came through that they really became restrained. And so this is why this topic is so important. Like, if you're thinking about getting married, if you're married but you don't have kids yet, or if you're married and you've just started your family or your family's growing, like these are serious things. And I guess the whole point of this podcast is that we want to talk about money and finance and legacy, but if the married, I believe that the strong foundation to wealth is marriage. Like, you need to have that committed relationship to have the stability to build wealth. And so for us, marriage is really, really important and is really integral as to why you can build wealth, why you can, and then raise kids that can then carry on that wealth and raise kids that you can be proud of. So I think the home, we saw it, if you studied Black history, you'd find that when they wanted to attack Black Americans, they targeted the family, and they targeted the Black man, and once they took the Black man out of the family, we saw the power of the black dollar and what they were able to create reduced, because when we are together, we are so much stronger.
Definitely.
And so I think it's so important to have these conversations. All right, we're going to dilemma, and then we'll talk about some stuff afterwards in regards to what we do to make sure that we have time for one another and we don't allow ourselves to be overrun. But this dilemma, this one I like, and I want to know your thoughts. All right, it says, my husband wants to go on a couple's holiday without the kids. Which is, to me, that's what a couple holiday is for.
It's a couple holiday.
But without the kids, I think it's selfish and feels like, actually, if we can only go, I think in this case, they can only go on holiday once a year due to financial strain. So in her mind, if we can only go on holiday once a year, we should take the kids. He's thinking, well, we took the kids last year. Like, this year, let's get some time away, just the two of us. What's your thoughts? Who's right? Who's wrong? Is there right or wrong? And what's the compromise in the middle?
I don't think there's a right and wrong with that, especially looking at it financially. Let me look at it that way. If you're looking at it financially and you can only do a holiday once a year, then yes, take the kids. The compromise might be doing a staycation in the UK, or even just saying, I want an empty house for a week. Let me ship them up to grandma's or ship them up to friends who can look after them for a week so we can just have that time together. That might be the compromise. I do think couple time is important. Very much so. I do think it's important. It's just how you have that couple's time is what I guess makes or breaks this argument.
I think I agree. I think if you can have if you can afford more than one holiday, then definitely, like, we try, something that we try and do each year is have a holiday with the kids and a holiday by ourselves.
Yeah.
Obviously the one by ourselves tends to be shorter because we need someone to stay and look after the
Yeah.
kids. It's not easy to get someone to look after 4 kids. But we try and go away, and then we try and go away with the kids. But if we could only have one, like you said, we'd probably just do the one holiday with the kids to give them the experience, because we want them to be traveled, we want them to see the world, we want them to understand that there's a bigger world than
Yeah,
just where
definitely.
they live, and want to be out there and experience different cultures and so forth. So we really think it's a core part of them growing up, is having exposure
Exposure,
to
yeah.
other cultures, other places in the world, and be able to know them and say they've gone there, be on a plane, been on a, what do you call the boat thing?
Cruise.
Cruise. They've done a cruise with them. Like, we want to take them on different types of holidays so that they know what it's about and what's available. But like you said, I think then it's about, okay, if we can't do a holiday in the sense of get on a plane and go somewhere, maybe we can do a staycation. Maybe we can just do, like, send them to the grandparents for a week in the summer holiday, and then we can do whatever we want to do. We're free. We've got a week. We can go cinema. We can do all the other things that maybe we're not
You
able to
can't
do.
do with kids
Um,
around, yeah.
so I think it's about being intentional. Talk to them about what we do. Like, how do we make time for each other, considering that we've got 4 kids, like, 2 are about to be in secondary school, 2 in primary school. Like, how do we make time for one another as they've grown up and as time has gone on?
I think one thing we've tried to be is find time, because we can't always get babysitting, right? So we're like, okay, they're at school. Use the time when they're at school. So we try and go for breakfast or brunches. We go cinema during the week, and that's our time to connect as well, because it's difficult with 4 kids to try and find time. And where we both work, we both run our own businesses. Sometimes you're working late tonight. Sometimes Eman is at events pretty much most weekends. So where do you find the time? So sometimes we try and use his events as a time for us to spend time together. Talking on the phone and communicating on drives is a way for us to have that time together. I think we're just very intentional in finding time to connect with each other, however way we can come about it. And I think because the intention is there, it will happen.
Yeah, I feel like with my diary, for example, I get very busy. I'm obviously out doing loads of things, different places throughout the country and so forth. But Mims always has access to my diary. We can block out time. I'm always intentional in regards to saying, look, oh, we need to go on a date. We haven't been on a date for a while. What day are you free? Get a date, and then I'll book something on an app, and then we'll go out for dinner. You know, we've also agreed that we're going to take occasions as an opportunity to celebrate each other. So, you know, for a while there, we didn't really celebrate birthdays and Christmas. Like, we did everything for the kids, but not really for ourselves. But now we're like, no, when it's your birthday, we're going to get presents. We're going to make it a special day. When it's Valentine's Day, we're going to do it. When it's our anniversary, we're going to do it. Do you know what I mean? Anything that, Christmas, anything, any occasion that we can, we're going to take advantage of it. Not because we think love should only be on Valentine's Day, but it's just a reason to
it's
enjoy.
just a reason, because you get caught up in the day-to-day life, right?
Yeah.
And yes, you're both doing things for each other because that's what you do anyway. But if you take the time out specifically on birthdays, anniversaries and stuff like that, it means like you're doing that, taking that more, that final, that, what's the word? You're taking that extra step to show that I really do appreciate everything that you do for me and for the house, and just to show that I love you, I'm thinking about you, and thank you, basically.
Yeah, and I think one thing I would say is that I think a lot, when I speak to a lot of the man them as well, the man them won't say this out loud, but I think a lot of men feel that their women don't celebrate them as much. Like, they may buy their woman a present on her birthday, but they might not get much on their birthday. They might buy something for their wife on Mother's Day, but they don't get anything on Father's Day, and so forth. So I would encourage women, like, I know, like, it's not a case of, I know women are normally used to getting gifts and presents, but men like things too, you know. Men like to be surprised, and like, and more than just, okay, guess what? Here's some sex. Like, no disrespect to sex. Sex is wonderful, but we should be getting anyway.
Yeah.
So what are we getting other than that? Do you know what I mean? Unless you're making it extra, you know, we're going to this hotel, we're doing, like, make it a thing. Like, do you know what I mean? But I feel like also there can be a card, or there can be, oh, I noticed you need another tie for your work if you know your husband wears suits a lot, or some new shoes. Do you know what I mean? To go, you know, not nothing that has to be you know, very, very expensive, but just so that it's appreciated, because I think, you know, there is obviously different love languages and so forth, but I think just to appreciate the time, like that financial, it doesn't have to be a huge burden, a big gift, you don't have to spend hundreds, but just so that he can know, okay, I've taken the time out to buy something for you. Do you know what I mean? And you say, oh, I don't have time, but you have time to shop on Amazon for all the other stuff that you want and like. So you can use the same Amazon to get your husband a gift. Do you know what I mean?
100%.
So I think those intentions are really, really important. I think, like I said, we make time in regards to going away. We try to go away. We're lucky also, we've got babysitting, we've got support from family as well. And that's why, again, even where we live is tactical. Like where we live is very close to my parents' house, and so obviously we got my sisters are there as well to help. Your parents are not too far from us as well. Your sister don't live too far from us, so we've got people around. So if we need help and support, and obviously my niece is around not far as well from us, so she comes a lot to come and stay with them. And obviously the kids are getting bigger. I think in the next year or two they'll be old enough that, you know, they'll be able to manage themselves and look after themselves. Do you know what I mean? They'll all be of a good age and so forth. So I think that's really, really good as well. And that means that we'll have even more time and be more confident to do what we need to do.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, I think it's not forever. I feel like at the time
it feels like it. Definitely.
It can feel like it, but
and
it's not
that's
forever.
one thing we've always tried to remind ourselves, that it's a season. The kids are gonna grow. They're gonna start being self-sufficient, like in your house, and you still need to look at each other and be like, do I still like this person at the end of the day? So
it's so important. Like I remember a couple of years ago, like we went to Paris. That it was only for 3 days or something like that. But that trip really helped our marriage a lot. Like,
definitely.
we're just going through it. Not in regards to like beefing us, just like life in general, things happening, you know, obviously after the pandemic, and just coming through and recovering and getting back on the footstool and getting back to normality and so forth. I feel like that trip away, just the two of us, really, I remember sitting in Paris, sitting in this lovely like cafe restaurant, like by the window. The sun was shining. I just literally looking in your eyes. You look so beautiful, and I just remember taking that time to just talk to you and just thinking, wow, I am so blessed to have you as a wife. And it's like, sometimes you can't do that when someone's asking, Daddy, can I have this? Or Daddy, I need you to help me with my homework. I need to, like, it's hard to really sit down and reflect on how blessed you are. When you're in the environment and it's go, and then until the kids fall asleep. And then by the time they fall asleep, you're ready to fall asleep. So sometimes it's nice to get out of the environment, slower pace, go somewhere where we can just spend some time together. And even though it was only 2-3 days, it was really needed, and it was really enjoyable. So I definitely recommend, and it wasn't expensive either. The trip wasn't expensive. So, we took Eurostar, we planned it, we got a discount. Like, it was really, really good. So what I would say is definitely be intentional, but also you could do a spa weekend. Some lovely, we've been to Brighton. We go on these websites, so you get like these hotel weekend that you can go for a weekend away in different places. We've been to stayed at some lovely hotels at really low cost and just had a weekend away together over the years, and it's been fantastic. So
definitely,
we'd encourage people to do the same.
100%. I think just even if it's a night away, it can really, really just recharge your marriage and give you that much needed boost that you were very much lacking.
Now, finally, petty. When it comes to the kids, I know it's you anyway. Which one of us is more pettier when it comes to the kids?
Me.
Why? Well, I guess you're with them all the time, right?
I'm with them all the time, so I know their quirks. So, and the thing is, Eman always sees the end of something. He never sees the beginning, right? So he will hear me shouting, but he's not seen the conversations that got to the shouting. And then all he'll hear is someone, Mommy's taking away my phone. Mommy's done this, Mommy's done that. And then I'll have to explain to him, like, this is what's happened. This is why I've done this. And a lot of times, a lot of the punishment our kids have, we've agreed the punishment. So it's not like me just doing a punishment like type thing, and then he's like, oh well, you know that this was the outcome of the situation. So but I'm very much more the petty parent when it comes to our kids, because if I've told you a couple of times and you haven't done it, that's it. I'm taking your phone or your devices or something along those lines. Yeah.
Yeah, and man, then we got to do stuff to help ourselves. So things like, for example, breastfeeding. When it came to weaning them off, I had to give them the bottle, because
Yeah.
it's hard to tell a child not for you to tell them when they can smell milk.
Yeah.
Like, how you gonna feed? You're gonna hold them near your breast and then try to put a bottle. It's not gonna work.
It's not gonna work.
So one thing that helped us wean the other three. Malachi was wonderful.
Yeah.
You know, he's a wonderful child. He's still a wonderful child till today. We just gave him the bottle. He said, "Okay, I'll just suck bottle, no problem," and he was wonderful. But the other three, I had to step in and do that. Also, nappies. I think that's something that I used to try and avoid. If I smell, I'll just be like, go to your mom. And then your mom, sometimes you know, you'd be like, babe, like, and it's like, actually, man can sort this out. Like, bro, and again, with me, I just use lots of wipes. I feel like, man, them, it's a trick, you know. The wife ain't happy. We're going through wipes too quickly. But, bruv, man uses bare wipes and then just uses wipes to touch wipes. And then we wipe and then we clean.
Keep it moving.
Mims, you can change your nappy probably 2 or 3 wipes. I need about 15 wipes but it gets it done. And so, but also it's bonding time. Also it's time with the baby. It's time for them to understand they can spend time with someone other than mummy and wean them off. So that's really, really good. So just doing little things like that, putting them to bed, school run, man them. These are not stuff that is just on your wife. You can do all of these things and your kids will appreciate it. I'm telling you, my kids love when I take them to school.
Yeah.
Any opportunity I can, I take my kids to school because they love it. We have great conversations. We have fun. We get to talk. It's a great start for me to the day. I feel energized and ready for the day. I love the reaction when I pick them up as well. They run and scream and jump. It's wonderful. So for me, anytime I'm free and I'm available, I try and do it. It's not as often as I'd like, but anytime I can, I do it. And also it just gives me time to just rest and not have to worry about driving. And, you know, because a school run if you do it every day, can be monotonous, can become a chore and become something that you really dislike. So just me taking it every now and again just breaks it up so it doesn't become too much of a burden. So
yeah, and I think another thing I try and do is like if the kids do something and I know that my reaction might be a bit, I'm just like, you know what? Let your dad come home.
yeah.
That whole sentence, it's like, oh shoot, because I think sometimes because we're the primary parent in the point that we're there or dealing with it majority of the time, they don't necessarily it's just mummy, what else is she gonna do? When I'm like, oh, let your dad come, just go to your room until your dad comes home, then they realize, oh shoot, I've actually messed up. Because if mummy deals with it, you know it's calm. If daddy has to step in, then it's a different ball game.
Yeah, and I think that's another reason why I don't shout. Because when I do shout at my kids, you think I smack them the way my kids will cry if I raise my voice at them, because they're not even used to. I don't smack them, and I definitely try my best not to shout at them. So if I've shouted, they know that they've done a madness. They're in danger. Basically, they've done something that's dangerous to themselves, and I have to express the level of danger that they're putting themselves in that I'm not comfortable with. But yeah, I think if I shouted all the time, it just bounce off them. Do you know what I mean?
And please remember that parenting is a team effort. We both learn. We have different parenting styles and we both learn from each other.
Yeah.
Like, and one thing I always say, and Eman knows, I say this to him all the time, like, he's a great dad. Like, he's very much affectionate with them, when affection might not necessarily come from me because of how, you know, different growing up style. So what he gives, we both bring certain things, and I think it creates a perfect parenting unit for our family. And you have to involve your partner. Decisions shouldn't just necessarily come from you alone. He has to have an input in it, because at the end of the day, if anything happens, yes, the mum is there, but the dad has to have an input as well.
Yeah. Because again, like you said, we've grown up differently. I tell my kids I love them all the time. I hug them all the time. I tell them I'm proud of them all the time. I'm always with them. I'm always play fighting, jumping, like very, very touchy-feely, very, like hugging, like no personal space. Like if you see me when I sit on the couch, my kids are either side, and then one might sit on my lap, and I'm just, do you know what I mean? Like I love them being next to me, being near me. I love being around my kids. That's why I'm someone, and that's why again, for me, I'm someone like I can't play this game of divorce, and then now I wake up and my kids are not around, because I actually love waking up and seeing my kids and having them around me every single day and so forth. So I feel like, again, when you're out there and there's temptation and you might feel like, oh, remember the consequences like of your actions, like what that's gonna mean for me. That's one thing I always tell myself is like, I don't even want to play that. No matter how angry I'm at you, no matter how much you might have annoyed me, no matter how much life is frustrating me, like being away from my kids is just something I don't want. And so, I want to make sure that I'm doing everything I can to keep us together and make sure that our family, our home is good. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah, definitely.
that's the mindset.
Yeah, 100%. I think parenting, you have to be very intentional about
Yeah.
it. And if you're intentional about parenting, you're intentional about your marriage, you're intentional about your relationships, and it just creates a good foundation.
Yeah, that was the last thing for me. Is just that I learned a what, like early on in the marriage, for my kids to be good, my wife needs to be good, because I need to pour into my wife and make sure that she has energy, she is loved, she is cared for, she feels positive about who she is. I need all of that, because guess what? My wife spends more time with my kids than I do, and I need her to pour into my kids that they are loved, that they are cared for, that they are wonderful, they are appreciated. And if she is tired and has no energy and feels let down, feels disappointed, feels like she's lost, feels alone, all of those feelings go into my children.
Yeah.
And so for me, as much as if I really say I love my kids and I love my children, then it's impossible not for me to love my wife and make sure that she is good. Because if she is good, then I know my kids are good. And so that's why I always try and pour into my wife as much as possible, so that she can then pour all of the amount I pour in. And sometimes it's too much. Sometimes I'm too huggy, too kissy, too lovey, too whatever. But pour it as much as possible so she feels that love, and then that love is passed on to our kids.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think, I know we speak about this and you're like, oh, I'm not in that space, I'm not da. But I think just your intention in doing it, just your intention in showing that you still love that person, you still care for that person, means that they will reciprocate naturally. That love you give them, even if it might not necessarily be how they're showing you love, it will be shown to you, it will return back to you in a different way, and it just creates a happy environment.
Yeah. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Let us know what you liked, any points. If you're a parent, let us know how you're managing with your kids, and we'll see you on the next episode.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.